episode 385. I'm here with the beautiful and talented Dawn Noel. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Welcome. Thank you for having me. 385. You've done 385 episodes?
Well, I can get to that in a second. But yes, as of right now, it's 385. And the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. That you should never give up, and you should prove to people you can still amount to something. That labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, so hashtags that break the labels. And to answer your question about, yes, it's officially, it's been 385. Unofficially, I did about 685.
Wow. That is awesome. Good for you.
Because when I first did the show, I messed up because I now have people sign permission forms and you gotta stand by it. And when I first did it, I was taking people at their word, so I was getting, idle threats, take them down, or I'm gonna sue you, or whatever. We don't want to be seen as people like you. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. Take it all down. I went back to the ones, permission forms, hey, I used the interview, they said yes, so I had to swallow. I got up to 200, so I had to swallow 150. So I was like, you know what, fine, 200, do it over, brand new introduction, whatever. Was originally called Uncensored. Now I'm just called the plain KeithAndrewNetWork. And make a long story short, yeah, thanks to you, we're back up to where I'm supposed to be, 385.
And is it live, or do you record it and then post it later?
Oh, everything's pre-recorded, but when I upload it, then it'll be live.
Got it. You should be proud of yourself. That's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And say, hey, you're supporting a good cause, and you're making a new friend out of it at the same time.
Cool.
So, with that being said, I'm going to ask you some easy questions, then I'm going to ask you some hard-hitting ones, then I'm going to pass the show over to you, and you can ask me anything you want. Like I said, supporting a good cause out of it. And the first question I was going to ask you is, how was life growing up, number one? And when you were in high school and college, high school and college, were you a study nerd or party animal?
Okay, so the first question is, how was life growing up?
Yes.
I guess I had a pretty fun childhood. Like my high school, I went to the Performing Arts High School in Philadelphia. So high school to me was like the fame school. I was dancing all day and acting and, I went to a Catholic grade school. And then when I went to high school with public school, so I got to really express myself and, do crazy things with my hair and wear different nail polish and really express myself with the clothes that I wore, which was very different for me than going to Catholic school. So I had a sense of freedom. So my childhood, it was really revolved around the arts. I was performing and dancing, like dance classes all day, every day. I did some print modeling when I was a kid. So literally my whole life revolved around performing. I mean, I had some time, to play with my friends and stuff like that, but I didn't want to. Like, I knew exactly what I wanted to do as a kid. And I grew up in Philadelphia. And then in high school, was I a study nerd or a party animal? Neither. I didn't party at all in high school. I don't think I even had a drink until I got to after college or something. I was very focused. I didn't have a drink until I got to college. But yeah, no partying for me in high school. And I wasn't really a study nerd either. Like literally my life was, especially in high school, was just all about dance. And I actually had a hard time comprehending and focusing on things that I wasn't interested in. And unless I was interested in it, I would read the same paragraph over and over. And I'm like, what did I just read? Let me read it again. And I couldn't retain the information. And, sometimes I would think, oh, God, is there something wrong with me? And I'm like, I am perfect just the way God made me. And I'm not going to let any doctor or anybody tell me that there's something wrong with me. I just am interested in this and not that, and because when it comes to that or dancing, I have discipline, I have focus, and I comprehend. I can look at choreography and I pick it up like that just by looking at it. And even when I got to college, I went to a performing arts college. I didn't take like normal classes like math or, history or science. I took classes that I was interested in. I remember one class was Buddhist art and architecture. Like, it was random, but I don't know when and where I would ever use that in life, but I liked it. I wanted to learn about it. And honestly, I can barely do division or anything like that. Like, I didn't pay attention to those classes in school. In fact, in high school, I had like 150 absences a year, only because I was touring as a dancer. I was like doing like the circus and a magic show, so I had to take my homework with me on the road, and I barely did my homework. All I wanted to do was dance and perform. So, yeah. Sometimes I tell people it's crazy. I have a BFA, but I have like an 8th grade education, like book smart, but I'm life smart, like I've traveled the world and I'm cultured and I have a different kind of smartness to me, a different kind of common sense. I read books all the time, but I read things that I'm interested in. So does that help? Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. You did remind me of a funny song. You said you were born and raised in Philadelphia, and I just remembered, wait, why does that sound familiar? And I remember, oh yeah, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, you were thinking that. Born and raised, West Philadelphia, born and raised. Everybody.
I just trying to make people laugh.
Okay.
And now, you also mentioned you performed in the circus. So what type of circus acts did you do?
Well, actually, I wasn't in the circus, and that was in high school, which was a long time ago. I was one of the dancers that they had during the circus or the magic show or something like that. But I wasn't actually doing like trapeze or anything like that, or like jumping through like with tigers or something. It was I was just I was one of the dancers.
Do you miss it?
Dancing?
Yes.
Sometimes. My passion has moved a little bit more to acting and producing at this point in my life, but sometimes I miss it, Yeah, sometimes.
How do you like your Princess Leia look you going for?
Yeah.
Well, my last easy question for you, then we can go to the hard-hitting ones, is did you ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids, or not into the whole human pyramid thing?
Do you mean like when people stack up on each other, like cheerleaders?
I guess you can refer to cheerleading, but yes.
Wow, no one's ever asked me that question. It's really interesting questions. Random. No, never done a pyramid. I've never been a cheerleader. My high school, we didn't have any sports, because it was a performing arts school. So I was really never around cheerleaders. No, I've never done a pyramid. That's a great question.
I love that stuff. I'm a loser.
You're not? You're a what?
Oh, I love that stuff. I'm a loser.
Why did you say you're a loser?
And not a lot of people are talk about it or interested in that type. So, yeah, I always wanted to do one since I was 4, and I just found a strong interest in it.
Okay, but that doesn't make you a loser. You have to watch your words. Your words are powerful. There's nothing wrong with liking. I just said it was a random question, but it's okay to like a pyramid. I like random stuff also.
Well,
I think that's creative that you asked that question. It made me laugh. You're definitely not a loser. We are not going to have this conversation. If you talking negative, I'm going to get off the phone.
I promise I won't be negative.
Okay. You are not a loser. You have recorded over 600 episodes. You have more determination than most people I know. I'm proud of you.
No, I
Really.
appreciate it.
That's
I'm just
awesome.
opening up to you, you know.
You have a lot of dedication. Go ahead.
Now, while on the subject, because I am a big fan of the pyramid stuff, I came up with 3 hard-hitting questions I'd like to get your opinion on.
Okay.
And you can answer it however you like. The first one is, would you do the side-by-side or would you do the stack?
Wait, if I do a pyramid.
Yes, would you do the normal or would you do the stack?
Wait, what's the normal? It's like 4 on the bottom and then 3 and then 2
Yeah,
and
the
then 1?
normal, yep, and that's the basic one. And the more advanced one's the stack, where he does keep layering up.
Oh. I would probably do the normal one. Just because it seems safer.
Right.
Because you would have like 4, you'd have a bigger base at the bottom. Probably the normal one.
Hey, it's always good to think outside the box, right?
Yeah, not at all.
And the second one, how many people would you do it with? Would you do 6, 10, or 15?
I'd go for 10. Do 4 on the bottom and then 3 and then 2 and then 1, right? Is that 10?
Nope, that's the medium one.
Huh?
Oh, that's the middle one, the medium.
The medium one? Yeah, that's the one I would do.
And
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
So you've never done a pyramid?
No, I always wanted to, but I never found the right group of people.
I'm sure there's people somewhere, like at maybe you go to church or at school or something, your friend. You have cousins, little kids. You can do a smaller one.
Hey, if you're ever up for it, maybe we can hang out one day and we can get a group of people together.
Okay, sounds good.
And my last question is, where would you like to be? Top, bottom, or middle? Top, bottom, or top? Yeah, any way you get that.
Probably the top. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. You have a little GoPro on, you can have the whole experience.
Yeah, I have good balance, so.
Now, my next question I was going to ask you, going from the hard-hitting ones to the easy ones, is who influenced you to start your career, number one, and who were some of your favorite people to ever work with that you got the chance to?
I don't think anybody influenced me to start my career. It's something that I always wanted to do. And I pushed my mom, Mom, I want to go to dance class. Mom, I want to do this. Mom, I want to do that. So it's something I always wanted to do. I guess the favorite people that I've worked with, my favorite person would probably be Madonna. I toured with Madonna on the Reinvention tour as a dancer. And I was really blessed. I got to see the world and travel and perform in front of thousands and thousands of people. And that was just a dream come true, especially the traveling part, because I probably wouldn't have been able to travel as much as I did and see all the places in Europe and had I not been on tour, And she was great to work with. She's a boss, She's very professional. And she works hard, and she knows what she wants, and, great work ethic. And so that would probably be my favorite person working with.
Did Madonna ever give you any words of encouragement, any words of advice?
No. No. I think no. I don't know if she's that type of person. You'd probably have to get really close with her. It was more business than anything. Sometimes we would have fun and hang out, but never really like words of encouragement, I don't think. Sometimes we would pray. We would always pray before every show.
Right.
So something like that for sure, but nothing specific to me. But she was very encouraging of the group, and we all hold hands before the show and pray. that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'm going to ask you some more hard-hitting questions, and then I'm going to pass the show over to you, and you can ask me anything you like. Welcome back to episode 385. I'm here as the talented and beautiful Dawn Noel. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah,
385. Somebody should play that lottery number. It's a great number.
Well, it's kind of funny you should mention 85. It's because I wanted to do a special segment, and then I'm going to pass the show over to you. The special segment of 85 is, 1985. It's a great year, That's when Nintendo came out. That's when WrestleMania debuted. So, what does 85 mean to you?
I never thought about that. Well, this is episode 385, right?
Yes.
So you're just thinking about the 85 part. I love 80s music, so it kind of reminds me of Michael Jackson music and Madonna. When I hear 85, I think 80s music, 80s pop music and stuff like that. But the number 85 really doesn't mean anything specific to me, but the number 385 has a nice ring to it. It's kind of flows. 385. Somebody should play that number. Yeah. I don't play it, but hey.
No, absolutely.
Huh?
No, I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize.
No, it's fine. You didn't interrupt.
And especially with 85, like I said, he had WrestleMania, he had Nintendo. I just thought about it. He had He-Man, he had She-Ra, Back to the Future. Wow. Yeah, so he had all these really good movies, and the music was good too. They should really open a store called the 80s. I would love to work for that.
Oh my God, that would be awesome. I love the 80s. And I can't believe you remembered all of that. I mean, I knew that they came out in the 80s, but you're being specific and saying in 85. I wouldn't have remembered all that in 85.
Well, there is a TV show called I Love the 80s.
Right, but you're specific in saying that they came out in 85.
Yeah.
I knew they came out in the 80s, but I didn't know 85. So, you have a good memory.
I do. I remember the important things. Those ripped jeans, for an example. Yeah, was it 80, 82, or 83? And those are from the 80s, and they came back in style. A-tracks are coming back, records are coming back. It's funny how everything comes in full circle.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
But with that being said, looking at the time because I have to do another interview, what's the last 10 minutes left of the show? I'm going to pass it over to you. Was there anything you wanted to know? Anything you wanted to ask me? This is your time after all.
Okay. What inspired you to create this show?
That's a good question because I keep coming up with different variations of the story. My dad had an interesting life. He was an assistant principal for 36 years, and he had Wesley Snipes in his class. He around the corner, J-Lo went to school. My dad met Al Pacino. He had lunch with Al Pacino. He met Tony Bennett. He was on the parade, the New York City parade with Mayor Giuliani. A couple other famous people, and he thinks I'm an ass kisser, but I use my brother for an inspiration. I copy what he does, and I try to do what he does, but I'm always 5 steps behind. So yeah, I use my dad, I use my brother for an inspiration. And I guess the biggest thing that really pushed me in this general direction is because I was using my learning disability as a crutch for all these years. I'll give you an example. If you compare me now back to 12 years ago when I was in high school, you would say I'm not the same person. I invented for my high school. I invented the morning show. I said, hey, every room in the classroom has a TV. Why not just do the morning show? And they're like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Why don't you do it? But I didn't like to question authority back then. Now I can't shut up. Now when I see someone in a high position, I make a beeline right to that person. I don't care what are the consequences. Say, oh, you're big and famous? Gotta be there in a heartbeat. Oh, you work for corporate? Gotta be there in a heartbeat.
Right.
And I don't.
What is your learning? What people have said your learning disability is?
I'm pretty much like you, and I should have this on a recording so I don't have to repeat myself. I'm pretty much like you, only I learn at a 5th grade level.
Wait, you only learned up to a 5th grade level, or?
Yeah, I read at a 5th grade level. I have social skills of a 5th grader. I have poor people skills. And basically the reason I'm doing this show is because I deal with depression and social anxiety. So when I do the talk show, it's my way of overcoming my learning disabilities. So this is basically therapy for myself.
So do you think you have a learning disability, or do you just believe that because somebody told you that?
A little bit of both. I am socially awkward, and so, yeah, I am noticed that more and more.
I think you're really smart, and I think you're really creative. I think you're definitely way more determined than a lot of people I know to get up and do this every single day. That's passion. That's work ethic. That's, determination. You have a goal, and you succeeded. You want to do something, and you did it. And I wouldn't even, who's to say? Don't get me started. I'm like a conspiracy theorist. Everything that they teach us in school, it's like, okay, did I ever I didn't even go to geometry class or calculate, like any of those classes. I have no idea how to do that kind of stuff. This is my life. I want to be happy. So who cares if you know how to divide and if they say you have a 5th grade education? So what? I probably do too. Just go do what you love, and you're doing right now what you love. So are you happy? I think that's all that really matters.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. To be honest, I'm not saying this to be cute or funny. I want to do this until the day I die. Not doing this from where I am right now. Either work for the WWE, work for TNA Wrestling or Global Force Wrestling or whatever the hell for Cole now. Work for a big network. I'm not asking to be an A-lister. I'm not asking to be raking all that money. If I can if I can become a B-lister, C-lister, and just say, people walk up to me, say, hey, can we take a picture? Can we get an autograph? Or thank you for what you're doing or what you're doing. You're an inspiration. That's all I really want. I try to set my... Go ahead.
Why don't you bring your show up to the next level? Like, here's an example. Because I think you have great questions.
Yes.
I love that you have, cojones. Like, you have balls. You will text anybody or go up to anybody and say, hey, can you be on my show? I want to interview you. You already have those skills. So why not look at the background of my wall? Maybe get a wall in your room. Paint the background so we don't have to see your air conditioner. Raise the value, the quality of your show, and then start sending it out and ask really cool. You already do ask cool questions, like who asks about a pyramid and all those. They're really creative questions. You know what I mean? Like they're not the normal questions. I love that. Usually it's like, oh, Dawn, where are you from? What school did you go to? Why do you love to dance? Just the boring questions, but you actually engage with people. So I'm telling you, you want to bring this to the next level and you want to do this till the day you die, bring it up to the next level. Get a nice camera, get a light, you know what I mean? And who knows, you can be the next, YouTube sensation, or you may start making money from this. Think about it.
Hey, if you're willing to help me with it, I really appreciate it.
Well, I don't know what I can do. I'm in Los Angeles and you're in New York, but I can give you some advice.
Sure.
I think you already have it. I think you already know what you're doing. You're already doing it. I'm just saying take it to the next level.
And I've been doing it for the past 4 years. Now, I'll give you a perfect example. When I first started, and this is our last subject, and then I could talk to you off the air. When I first started, what you saw on the screen is basically, this is all season 1. Basically, sort of reflects on you. I didn't want to be seen at the time. And I was like, okay. Then season 2 was like, okay, here's season 2. The camera will record from the computer screen. And now, season 3 and 4, it's got to be cut in half. I'm on the right, you're got to be on the left. And also, if you ever want to interview me, I can flip it, where you're on the right and I'm on the left. So you saw a transition over the 4 years, from the phone, from the computer, to the Skype recorder. You know, right now you get to see everything behind me, and I get to see everything behind you, but when I do the editing, it's got to cut everything off on the sides. So yes, it does make it look professional. But, you know, I try not, try to please everyone. It's like the expression, if you try to please everyone, you're going to set yourself up for failure. So I'm going to say, here I am. This is what I'm doing. And if I'm not good enough for you, then, there's 1.1 billion people in the world. Half of those people you're going to please. Half of those people you're not going to please. But I'm not putting a face on. This is actually who I am.
I love it. You inspire me.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, my last thing I want to run past you, I have a couple questions off the air, is when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction? And after being interviewed, how did you, after being a guest, how do you feel now?
So wait, the first question was, what was my first reaction? I was like, sure, anything to help or inspire people, to help you out and inspire other people that may listen. I was definitely open to it. I just kind of had to look at my schedule and fit some stuff in. I was actually supposed to have another interview right after this for Huffington Post, but that got pushed back to next week. So that's why I was trying to do them in the same day. And how do I feel about being on your show? I thought it was really cool, and I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad you approached me, and I think you got something really cool going on here, and I love your questions. I love that they're outside of the box and creative, and not normal and boring. Who wants to fit in? That's so boring, right? Who wants to be like everybody else? That's so boring. I think you're awesome. And if you want I have some really other cool friends, talented friends. I can always throw them your way if you want to interview them too. And I'm really proud of you. You're definitely an inspiration. And I love your determination. So I learned a lot from you today. So thank you.
I appreciate it. Now, I do have a couple questions off the air. But my last question is, how can people follow you on social media? Are you on LinkedIn, Twitter, Stage 32, any of those fun things?
Yeah. So my website is www.dawn-noel.com. That's DAWN-NOEL.com. And then on Twitter, I think I'm Dawn Noel. You can find me Dawn Noel. On Instagram, I'm Dawn Noel Actor. And then you can always find me on Facebook under Dawn Noel. I think those are the only, LinkedIn, Dawn Noel. Yeah, pretty much. And then you can also follow my my award-winning short film, 22 Years, which I'm really proud of. And we're on social media also. And it's about a woman who hasn't seen her biological father in 22 years. And it's doing really well in all the film festivals. And if you want to see it, we're on IndieFlix, indieflix.com. And the trailer is on YouTube. Just go under 22 years, like the number 22, which is also my favorite number. Um, yeah, you can follow, so I'm everywhere on social media. Feel free to follow me.
Yeah, absolutely. Now stay tuned for Off the Air. I have a couple questions. But wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
Sounds good. Bye, everybody, and thank you.